Welcome to the Series Sweep podcast. I'm breaking down each and every single week of this Dodgers offseason. We're officially unofficially sponsored by Firestone Pivo this evening. It's a delicious craft pilsner. They're going to unfortunately stop making this beer in a couple of months. I'm going to stock up while I can. You can find me, Eric Eulo, on YouTube. That is under the Series Sweep. You can find me on Twitter. That is at EEULAU. As we always start the show, a quick reminder to do this in about 5-ish minutes. Feeling good about doing it. Got my watch. I'm going to make it happen. Quick reminder, Dodgers, 2020 champions. Still, it's beautiful. But you know what happens with every championship team after you win? Some guys leave to get more money. Part of free agency, part of life. Sometimes you got to move on. And over late last week, we got some weird news. Didn't see this one coming. Alex Wood signs with the San Francisco Giants. You know what? Good for him. Wish we could have signed him and kept him. He probably wanted another starter deal, and it's a one-year deal. But the fact that he signed with the Giants just feels weird. But only outmatched. But real quick, though, Alex Wood pitched great in the Rays game. I think we'll always remember that Astros World Series game where he just pitched a hell of a game, helped the Dodgers get the win, was so paranoid about the Astros stealing signs that he kept switching his signs, which apparently worked. Speaking of the Astros, dun dun dun, Pedro Baez signs a 2-year deal with the Astros. They're going to pay him $12 to $14 million a year, which just seems like a lot for Pedro Baez. One of the most divisive, polarizing relievers the Dodger fans just love to argue about. The playoff shortcomings. I mean, you can just go on down the list. The Mets series in 2015. The Nationals. I mean, just the amount of times he screwed over Clayton Kershaw. Pick either Nationals series. One of them was okay. The other one was obviously a complete disaster. You know who is staying? That guy. That guy is Blake Treinen. Signed a 2-year deal right after we uploaded the last podcast, 17.5 over 2 for an average annual value of 8.75. A lot of people like that deal, and that's because Liam Hendriks, another former Oakland A standout closer, signed a 54 over 3-year deal with Chicago. For those of you doing the math at home, that's $18 million a year. That is a lot for a guy who's only 1 year younger than Blake Treinen. I will say, Liam Hendriks has been good for kind of 1.5, 2 full seasons. Blake Treinen still has that one incredible season, one horrendous season, and then one above average season with the Dodgers. But a lot of people really like this move for Blake Treinen. They like the value of the deal now, seeing what Hendriks got on the open market. Obviously, Hendriks' stock is a little bit higher right now, but Treinen proved what he could do in the playoffs and in tough spots with the Dodgers. Really had that one bad Diamondbacks outing during the regular season, and we all know what he did in Game 5 to close out that game against the Tampa Bay Rays. So, that brings us to another Oakland A. Eric, who is this? Why are we looking at this? Folks, this is Marcus Semien, who now all of a sudden is linked to the Dodgers. Why? Why? Because Justin Turner still has not signed a deal with the Dodgers. They want 2 years. He wants 4. We don't need to go over it again. They need to figure out how to get a 3-year deal done. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they got to figure it out. Marcus Semien has had one really good year. If you take his average regular season stats, he's averaged about 22 home runs, 72 RBI, and hit .254. He primarily plays shortstop. So the idea of this would be predicated on, I thought the video was a lot longer. The idea of this would be predicated on the fact that he would move over to third, because I'm sorry, but Corey Seager is not moving out of short. And another reason we're talking about Marcus Semien is because the Yankees actually signed DJ LeMahieu for 90 over 5. Pretty solid deal. I believe it was about $90 million. I probably should have double checked that, but it was under. I thought it was gonna be a 3-digit contract. I thought the Dodgers would be a little more in on a contract like that. Apparently they weren't. It's 5 years. Friedman hates contracts longer than 4. It seems like, especially except if you're Mookie Betts. The Semien thing just feels weird. It feels like what they're using it to leverage Justin Turner to get a deal done. A lot of people think this is going to be the week to get a deal signed with Turner and the Dodgers, but we've said that for many weeks. Couple more deals that need to get done. So they avoided arbitration. They came into agreement for 1-year arbitration deals with Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, Julio Urias, and Dylan Floro. I don't think I forgot any of those are the 4. The 2 they still have to come to agreement with is Austin Barnes and Walker Buehler. Now, the only other solution they can do besides a 1-year deal where they can meet, they can go to court, they can do the file and trial as it's called, or they can give them a multi-year deal. I think they'll figure something out with Austin Barnes, but there's an opportunity. They're working on a multi-year deal with Walker Buehler as we speak. That's it, folks. That's your update for the Dodgers offseason. I think we finally did it. The Padres made another move, but this isn't a Padres podcast. It's the Dodgers podcast. But thank you as always for listening. Please subscribe, rate, review, share with your friends. We appreciate it. Have a hell of a night. Thank you.